What would you do if someone walked up to your teller window and quietly said, "My husband passed away yesterday. I need to access his account"? This is one of the most sensitive and high-risk moments in banking. One wrong move when handling a deceased account can expose the institution to lawsuits, regulatory findings, or even financial loss. But done correctly, you protect the estate, the surviving family, and your bank. Today I'm walking you step by step through how to handle deceased accounts as a bank teller, with compassion and compliance. If you work in banking, are studying compliance, or want to understand the probate banking process, this training is for you. When someone reports a loss, this isn't just a transaction, it's grief. The slide calls this the sensitive moment, and that's exactly what it is. When dealing with a deceased account holder, you must balance two things: emotional intelligence, regulatory discipline. You can say something simple like, "I'm very sorry for your loss." Then immediately shift into your professional role. Remember, empathy does not mean bending policy. Handling deceased accounts as a bank teller requires calm, controlled, and consistent action. Your role is not to interpret emotion. Your role is to verify authority. The slide highlights 4 key responsibilities. Verifying authority. Not interpreting emotion. Protect the estate. Protect the institution. Let's break that down. When someone claims authority over a deceased member's account, your first responsibility is confirming identification and legal documents. You are not there to decide who deserves the money. You are there to confirm who legally has authority. This protects the estate assets, other potential heirs, your institution from liability. In deceased account procedures, facts matter more than feelings. The moment you're notified of a deceased account, 4 actions happen immediately. Document, restrict, escalate, do not release. First, document the notification promptly. Who reported it? When? What documentation was presented? Second, restrict access. This may include placing a hold or account restriction depending on policy. Third, escalate according to internal procedures. Fourth, do not release funds until verified. This is one of the biggest mistakes new tellers make. Releasing funds before verifying authority after death. Never assume. Always verify. Now let's talk about the death certificate. For a deceased account, a certified copy is mandatory. Not a photocopy, not a picture on a phone. A certified copy. You must confirm exact name match with bank records, date of death, issuing authority legitimacy. Why is this important? Because the date of death triggers transaction review and determines legal authority timelines. A mismatch in spelling or middle initials can create compliance risk. Precision matters in estate account compliance. The date of death isn't just informational, it changes everything. Once confirmed, you must review post-death transactions, ACH activity, government benefit deposits, recurring debits. For example, if Social Security deposits after death, those funds may require return. If automatic debits continue, they may need to be stopped, but not automatically canceled without authority. Monitoring ACH after a deceased notification is critical. This is where handling deceased accounts intersects with ACH compliance and fraud prevention. Now let's discuss ownership. Not all deceased accounts are handled the same way. The slide outlines 4 types: single owner, joint payable on death, PAD, trust account. A single owner account with no beneficiary, likely probate. A joint account after death, usually transfers to surviving owner, but must verify. A PAD account, funds go directly to named beneficiary. Trust account, governed by trust documents. Understanding ownership determines your next step. In joint accounts, the deceased's share typically transfers to the survivor. But here's the key. You still verify the identity of the surviving account holder. Never assume because they say they're joint owner. Confirm in the system. Confirm ID. Document the interaction. This protects against fraud, family disputes, or internal audit findings. Handling joint account after death situations is common, but must be documented thoroughly. If the account has a single owner, no beneficiary, then it likely goes through probate. Probate validates a will or appoints an administrator. Without court-appointed authority, no funds can be released. This is where many disputes happen. Family members may say, "But I'm the daughter. But I paid for the funeral. But he told me it was mine." None of that overrides legal authority. Only court documentation does. When probate authority is presented, verify court seal authenticity, jurisdiction, executor identity, legal active status, letters, testamentary or letters of administration must be current and valid. Expired documents? Not acceptable. Wrong jurisdiction? Not acceptable. Executor name mismatch? Escalate. This is critical in deceased account procedures. Here's where things get complex. Probate thresholds vary by state. Some states allow small estate affidavits. Some have waiting periods. Some impose dollar limits. As a teller, you don't need to memorize every state law, but you must know your institution's policy regarding state-specific requirements. When in doubt, pause and escalate. Sometimes state law allows something, but your internal policy requires more documentation. Which do you follow? Your internal compliance policy. Pause, assess, escalate if unsure. Never guess. This slide is about protection. Key controls include freeze access, monitor activity, review pending ACH, implement security. A deceased account is highly vulnerable to fraud. Family members sometimes attempt quick withdrawals before others are notified. Fraudsters scan obituaries. Yes, that happens. Your controls protect the estate and your institution. Do not automatically cancel all payments. That can create legal issues. Instead, review payments. Confirm authority, monitor activity. Set alerts. Handling deceased accounts properly includes managing recurring transactions carefully. Never assume cancellation is appropriate without executor direction. Compassion and compliance must work together. Say, "I'm very sorry for your loss." Then clarify, "To protect the estate, I'll need to review some documentation." That phrase, "to protect the estate," reframes compliance as protection. It builds trust. Watch for family disputes, urgency for fast withdrawals, document tampering, confusion about state law. Urgency is a red flag. Forgery is a red flag. Conflicting stories are red flags. When handling deceased accounts as a bank teller, slow is smooth, and smooth is safe. If unsure, pause, document, escalate. Never rush through a deceased account situation. Document who said what. Note documents reviewed. Record decisions made. Audit trails protect you. Maintain secure storage of death certificate, court documents ID verification, internal notes. This supports audit readiness and compliance examinations. Estate account compliance doesn't end at the window, it continues in documentation. Auditors will ask, was authority confirmed? Were controls applied? Was documentation consistent? Were procedures followed? Consistency matters. Handling deceased accounts improperly is a major compliance risk area. Your documentation tells the story. Every deceased account situation comes down to two questions. Did you verify authority? Did you apply state law and policy correctly? If yes, you pass the compliance test. If not, the institution carries risk. Handling a deceased account is not just about banking, it's about dignity. It's about protecting families during one of the hardest moments of their lives. And it's about protecting your institution through disciplined, documented compliance. If this training helped you understand how to handle deceased accounts as a bank teller, hit the like button. Subscribe for more compliance training, ACH guidance, and banking best practices, and comment below. What's the most challenging deceased account situation you've faced? Your experience may help another banker avoid a costly mistake. Remember this: empathy earns trust, documentation earns protection, verification earns compliance. When handling deceased accounts, slow down, verify authority, and protect the estate. I'll see you in the next training.
This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial, legal, or investment advice. Please consult a qualified professional before making any financial decisions.